Hello, how are you? Welcome to the Four Direction. I'm the host. My name is Mary Apollo. I'm founder for Four Direction. Four Direction is a platform where we discuss world concern issues that matter to global citizens and issues around the world. And our goal is to empower the younger generation of youth and leader. And today's episode I have we have a special episode. I have a guest with me here. Uh, we're going to talk about diplomacy, human rights, and how you can become a better leader in the industry. My guest from U.S. Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights, Manuel Nuka. Welcome, Manuel, the president of
Uh,
U.S.
uh, g- um, yes, Happy New Year, Mary. Thank you so much for taking the time to having me and for your podcast. Yes, it's a pleasure here. I'm the president. My name is Manuel Wancha. I'm the president of U.S. Diplomacy Human Rights here in Washington D.C. We have the headquarters. We are in 136 countries or community of 45,000 people and over 19,000 human rights consultants. The idea for us is, it's an education. We are 513C, and our focus of nonprofit organization is to have education, to create awareness, and our goal is, to help unprivileged kids to go to school. And education is very important for us, to have, people to understand the basic elements that are human rights per Universal Declaration, uh, the human rights, human trafficking prevention, how to spot, not to be the hero, to get killed. It's just, how to understand what type of forms of human trafficking are and how to spot and how to help, the law enforcement, to catch the bad guys. Okay. It also, work with refugees and also we help lots of refugees in Ukraine and in other parts of the world, which it's a war zone, especially also in Israel and Gaza and other things, which is very important, to have encourage the girls, and we have this kind of I would say project, let her lead. And it's very important for us to be, to encourage young girls, to participate and to have a voice, and also, for the equal pay. Those things, are done, with at U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights. We're very happy to have this, and thank you so much for again for giving the opportunity. And this time of the year, it's a new year in 2025, and more things is happening, more things will happen, and I'm very happy, to share those things here with your audience, if you allow me.
Yes, sure.
I can hear.
Yeah. Uh, so welcome, Emmanuel. It's really my honor. First, uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm just trying to set my.
Yeah, before Mary, you have some technical issues, but because you can see me, I think the point I want to make is, also in U.S. diplomacy and human rights, also we do also diplomatic protocol. We have our training in January, where you can become a protocol officer. How you are at White House. You will learn from Dr. Isabel Rodoyo from A to Z. What needs to be done, to when you have a diplomatic in diplomacy, what needs to be done. I'd like to become a protocol officer, but doesn't matter if you work in hospitality and also in diplomacy. That will help you a lot, and what we learn when you have this kind of opportunity to have those kind of knowledge, also your business is growing, because you know how to communicate and be
So
confident.
wonderful.
Yeah, go ahead.
So all this is wonderful program. But I want you to tell us a little bit about your role and responsibilities as the president of U.S. Institute for Development of Human Rights. What do you do for the
Yeah,
organization?
I did, like be a president of this international organization. It's very important. I'm on operations side. I have the vision of the Dr. Isabel Verdoyo, to put in that vision and reality. My role is, to make sure, from the operations side, everything is happening. What type of volunteers we have, what type of regional directors we have, what kind of, events, opportunities, and what kind of partnership we need to create to expand and to work towards our projects. It's very important, for to have somebody, and why I know that, because also I'm an international business consultant, mentor, and for that, also we certify um, business consultants at U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights. What is important for that? It's important, to understand somebody visions, and put that in reality. I did that for many years. I was in corporate and working with visionary, and different type of product and services, and that allow me, to understand, how we can put that. It's a skills and knowledge, and I'm blessed, for doing that, and bringing, to our audience and to our clients new opportunities, new way to connect, new way to collaborations, and new way to get themselves to the next level. Because what is important, our legacy here at the U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights is for us to have any individual, um, pack, with the skills and knowledge, and take himself to the next level, to be more confident, to be more open and happy, to help others. And also, our vision is, to help unprivileged kids to go to school. And why I'm saying that, because education is important in any country. Doesn't matter, you are in the United States, or you are in Canada, or you're in Mexico, or you are in Africa, or you're in Europe. If people and leaders are investing in education, that is the opportunity for that country to grow, to take themselves to the next level. When people, leaders and administrations in other countries, they don't focus on education, that will go so squeeze themselves, and they create fears and chaos, and that will go to terrible wars and issues.
Mhm. So first, congratulations for new book, Master Business Consulting, Comprehensive Strategies and Tools for Becoming a Recognized Consultant. How do you address the challenges that face? Wonderful book. I just get the version copy from Amazon. So I
Thank
want
you.
to know how you address the challenges that faces business in today's world in this book and in your
Yes,
training.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. I think if we go I didn't want to be 270 pages over but the point which thank you so much. If if you go on Amazon, you can find it. But the point I want to make, it's structured in five ways. The first, I want everyone which want to become a consulting, if it's a business, if it's different experience they have, say I'm an expert, okay, and that expertise, will be consulting because you work for yourself and you create that strategy. You don't want to work for somebody. And for the first is the foundation. The foundation is not just enough to be an expert. You need to have more than that. And I go in more details about that, what's required to be on the foundation. The second part is, it's essential skills and frameworks. It's very important, to understand, what essential skills a consulting experts require, and also, it's what will be the framework, for your to to have the opportunity to create your business, consultancy business, because that will give you the idea how to all the steps. The second one thing is, leveraging technology and efficiency, because right now in the 21st century, you have different tools and different apps, different things people are using, and why they need to use it and how they need to use it and why required to use. Normally, you have those kind of tools, to speed up your and be a more efficient, and also, to create this kind of sustainable business, business for your client and also for yourself, because you have that business. The other for part is, which is for, it's a client engagement and ethical practice. um, there are two things here, is you like everyone wants to have clients. How you engage those clients, what is the way to engage, and this book is not only, knowledge you can find, you can Google. The what is important is here, it's important, is my story, my lesson learned, my experience, and also, the reader, to understand, like, hey, Manuel has this kind of situation, how he did it, how he overcome that obstacle. It's very important because when you create that relationship with the client, always I was in the sense, it's not just the contract, it's a shake hands. And that is the opportunity when you create a trust, you create a boundary, you create a bridge, you create that reality to your client, and the client create that reality to you, and a way to understand, yes, I'm confident, that person, and in that case, Manuel will help me to create my to achieve my goals. I think that is important, because if you don't create that relationship between the consultant and you and the client, that will create a lot of uncertainty and not a lot of um, uh, gray area, which I don't suggest. But other things which is important, and I'm talking there, it's about ethical practice. In order to have a successful business, you need to be ethical. Ethical means, what you promise you deliver, you have the integrity, and you also, you take responsibility. You sometimes you fail, you need to say, hey, this was my mistakes, I recognize that, and that is very important to be authentic, to take responsibility for your own actions, and you have integrity, and what you promise you deliver. Another sense, we know in the part five, I say strategic and financial management. Also, you need to have, it's not enough, to be an expert in one field and have that vocation You say I'm doing, in IT, and I can resolve everything in IT. But also you need to have the knowledge about financing, okay, and how you do for your business, and how you can encourage, the client to save more. If you are doing that, that is efficiency, that the client will be happy, because that area say, why you need to buy too much paper? You don't use a lot of paper right now. It's more digital. Why you need to buy papers? You still you buy papers because, from the last 10 years you use the paper, but you still continue to do that. And if you highlight some things, which is not important, and you identify is not important for the client, that will be much a plus value added on your expertise. And the last one is marketing your service and growing your practices. That is very important. How you do. You're doing organic. You're doing with pay ads. You're doing. How you engage the new client. You're doing by, on the way. Um, by referral, by the, somebody, you did a good job to that people, and those people, they say, oh, I have my friends with this kind of company and they need help as well. I recommend this book. Wish you the best. Don't forget to give me a review, and looking for 5 stars, because that is important. And
Yeah, I think this book
thank
is
you so
good.
much. Yes.
I went and read through it, and in chapter 2, you talk about the essential skills and framework for business consultant. Yeah, I think this is also some of the criteria that a business person has to have, because I find it similar to a leader. When you are a leader, you have to have these skills. But what is different when you are a business person? What type of skills that can differentiate you from a leader, or they are similar?
I think, any there are two types of experts. Okay, experts which they are looking, I want to make more sales, and you know I'm going with something which I learned, and I duplicate that to my clients, doesn't matter if they want it or not. And the second is, when um you are confident to use your skills and knowledge, and you are curious to understand, first, your client, second, to understand his business, and third, what is important, to understand his goals. Because it's not about, I have the business this, but you find out, you know he have a product and service, but doesn't have that. He didn't create that irresistible offer. Means irresistible offer can bring more. You can have add value, other product and services, which they create an irresistible offer with the value, and the people will be like, wow, for 1,000. I give an example. For $1,000, I'm getting value, but it's $50. But its value $1,000, but I'm paying only 50. Which mean, I get this, and that is a irresistible offer. People say, "Hey, I cannot resist to buy it." It's just I want to have it. And people sometimes they're buying, then they have it, and maybe that they don't use it. It's another problem. It's the buyer, it's the different types of buyers. But the point I want to make is, to answer your question is, to have is not important only to be a leader, is, to create leaders around you. To If you have that, you have your client, and that client doesn't is you have good expertise, but doesn't know how to hold a business. You need to be his best friend, to understand, to help him and help her, in the way, to pat, to say, hey, if you want to get, to 10 times your business, those are the steps. And you don't be afraid to share that. Of course, in exchange will be, will be a contract, will be it's not for free. But the idea is, hey, I'm not Let me take your hand, and let's do step by step to achieve those goals. Also, you get that resistance from the client because they say, no, I want you to do this, and I want focus on this. I want this result right away because they think if that result is done, they will bring more money. But sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes you need to understand to see the old pictures and to understand the old business in order to get the the best call and actions for the client to take in the future, and that requires communication is the key in order for them. Communication is not just to talk. Communication is mean to ask the right questions, the client, and the client ask you the right question too, to understand who you are and who can help them.
So I have a question because if we want to make it clear, who is the business consultant who can work in this industry? So we can make it clear before we go deeper in the
Yes,
conversation.
I think the business consulting, is just to you need to have an expertise. Okay, I think I give an example. It's like you do bookkeeping. That is your expertise. Okay, you are you say I'm a bookkeeping consultant. Okay, when you say business consulting, it's can be it's more general, but also you can go more narrow, and but first you need to have, you like an individual, you need to have some results in the past. You created some results. Doesn't matter you created, under one company or two different companies, but if you go to a company and you create results over and over, and you are the best creating those kind of results, and you say, hey, stop, I don't want to work for anymore for that company, and I want to have my own clients because I know what needs to be done in order to create those kind of results. Can be sales consulting. I create results and sales. Also, when you say business, I can take a business from A to Z, like how I'm doing. Like, okay, you are a one man show. Some days you just start right now, and you want to grow that business. You want to have a team, you want to have more products, you want more sales. That is the type of the business which you take from A to Z, and you want to scale that business. But let's say you are in digital marketing, you are an expert in that. You know how to do Facebook ads, and you have those. You bring the 3 times or 4 times ROIs. The I invest 1,000, you bring me 5,000. It's 5 times, which is great. And for that, you have expertise in digital marketing. You have expertise in writing. Let's say, because we are here in DC, that people which they have grants. They know how to write grants. It's not because you have Chat GPT or the other tools, AI. Yes, they're good. They can help you, but you have the person with the grants. They have the unique skills. And I say, I know how to do it from A to Z. I know what is required. I know how to um, position your company, your services on that grant. Maybe that grant is, required for a private of a government agency, and for that you need to have that skills, that specific, in order for you to succeed. And why people doesn't go so fast with their own business? Because they don't ask for other people to get help, and because they say, hey, I have my expertise, I'm doing this, I want to learn, I will do by myself. But they find out they get burned out because they want to learn how to do the Facebook, how to do the Google, how to do everything, and you find out you are depleted. You're doing that for 1 month, 2 months, and the third month you say, oh, come on, I'm not seeing sales. They forgot, to focus on what they want to do, and after that is like, okay, everything is done. and they don't have why in the first 2 years, the small companies they go, they close, because everyone doesn't want to learn to work in the team. You when you are in doing this kind of you're in a consultancy business, you need also to bring the best team, the best people with you. They know some, they have a specific uh, knowledge and skills, and that help you, also for your business and also for your clients. And that when you create this kind of team, and team will be with you, that will generate more value and more revenue for your business and for the client. I
So
think that is amazing.
that's very clear, because when I wrote in the book, I find out you have some sectors where you can be business consultant in health, business consultant in legal. That's why, like, we needed more explanation in that. And I just have a question for, if the person want to start a business or being in the business consultant industry, what strategies can they do, or what step would they start to do? Because a lot of young people today are stuck on that.
Yes, I think first, I think they need to be clear, who wants to serve. Okay, what knowledge they have and what they want to serve. Because I understand maybe they do everything, and they're open to do everything, but I give an example, and I give that example to everyone, which is come. Okay, let's say I have my phone, I have my mouse, I have my pen, and I know to do everything, correct? And I'm going in front of you and just say pick one, and you don't know what you pick, because let's say, man, I have my phone, but my phone has more information than your phone, and which create more value. This pen is good pen, because I use for my iPad, and the mouse, is for other things. But the point I want to make, when you go to the client, don't go, to say, I know to do this, because you create confusion. First, when you go to the client, you need to ask, what is your problem? And people, they will say, I don't have a problem. Okay. You need to change the question, to say, oh, how about how much money did you make last year? And how much money do you want to make? And he say, oh, I have people, when they come, to my courses, and they said, oh, I'm okay at 20,000. I say, 20,000 per year? Do you? I think you need to get a job. 20,000 is not enough. And they realize, because you need to realize the numbers. When you see the reality is the numbers. When you go and they say, okay, when somebody tell you, I did 100,000 and I want to do this year 500,000. Can you help me to get me there? And what I need to do? And that will be the first question to start. And you need to evaluate, understand the business, and to say, okay, maybe you'll not get to 500,000, but we'll get you to 250,000. And those are the 5 steps to get you there. If you are open and flexible to add more product and services to your portfolio, maybe it will get you to 500,000. But also, you cannot do by yourself, and also you need to have a team. And that will be the point will be like that realization, is like, okay, people say, okay, I'm clear right now, because everyone has in their own head, like, oh yes, I can be in the 100, my declaration will be 10 millions. It's achievable 10 millions in that year, maybe not, it will be 5 millions. But 5 millions, why? Because I'm selling something which is valuable to whom, I think that is, and I'm consulting those kind of type of businesses which I can achieve that. It's not clear. If you have a confusion, if the client is confused, or maybe it's not confused but is going in the wrong direction, your responsibility as a person to say stop. How about this? But all the time, I don't need to see, the client be upset, and that is very important, because, the young generation they have is saying no, and I see also to my kids, no, is no, don't say that, because that will upset somebody, which, have, um, a double age, say, oh, you, it's this kind of the best way, to say, hey, it's a better way to this. I totally understand your position, and right now how I'm thinking to do that, and that will be the communication is the key, and how you communicate is very important, because it's not just to have the solution; it's also how put that solution translate for your client to understand, to accept, and for you to do the job for him or for her. I think it's very important, if you communicate that and you see the client is not taking you, means your communication is not there, and you need to come back to say, hey, I see, for you to have a different understanding. Me, I'm telling you this I can resolve, and I see we're not getting to work together. What happened? And you need to start the questions again. What was missed from that communication to me, or what you didn't understand from my presentation? And the people start to say, wow, yes, it's true. Me, I understand this, but I'm doing this. I understand this, but I'm doing that. You know, and and people start to realize, oh, yes, I'm confident with that person, because he come back, he follow up. The power of or scaling is follow up. People doesn't follow up. They say maybe they didn't get the results. They didn't get the results, and they start to assume, oh, maybe that didn't like my offer. No, maybe that person was very busy and didn't have a chance to come back to you. And it's not because doesn't like your offer. If it's right to you and say, I don't like this offer, you need to follow up also to understand what was missing, why you didn't like my offer, because it's a lesson learned for other client to understand, hey, okay, it's my lesson learned. Nothing is perfect in this world. And next time you go, you know what is missing. Your communication first, and you improve your communication to the next client to say, oh, I understand right now. Okay, they don't work with this client. And also, you need to understand the culture. It's very important, because we are human beings. We have different personalities, and we have also cultures. Different you sell in Europe, different you sell in DC, different you sell in California, different you sell in Texas, different you sell in Chicago. Why I was very successful, in the corporate world, and I'm successful to sell, because I understand the culture. I understand when I was internationally, whatever country is, I do my due diligence to understand how to communicate, how cannot offend, what words I need to use, what needs to be done in order, for me to understand that client, what question I can ask. You need to do your homework before you go in that communication, with the client. It's not typical, oh, I sell this contract to 10 peoples, and I continue to sell another 10. No, you need to, maybe I have a situation, I cannot sell the same contract on East Coast and on West Coast, and I sold on East Coast, and I try to understand why in West Coast I cannot sell. And people, you see, people they have different culture, and you need to adapt, how you position. There is more story in the west side, here in eastern, New York, Washington, go to Florida, people that have, like, hey, especially in New York, be quick, be to the point. I don't have time to lose. If I make money and I trust you, we go. If not, sorry. Another side, if you go in California, LA, San Francisco, Washington, Oregon, they like more stories. They come with the stories. When they ask a questions, they will not answer yes or no, and they will go more with the stories. Okay, hey, let me tell you, this and this and this and this. And you need to pay attention to the story, because when you need to create your answer, you need to frame based on that story. You need to connect that, because if you don't connect the dots, you'll be flat, and people will understand and say, okay, I say to him this, but he's not getting. They think you don't get his story, and he will continue to give you that story over and over until you get it. You need to say, hey, yes, I totally understand. It's good. I'm good here. Um, Based on your story, this we can do, and you bring a new story where you start to create that bridge with the client and more make a beautiful understanding in the both sides. And when you have an understanding in reality, you can have an agreement on the end. It's very simple. But if you didn't have that, you will see it's a pushback from the client. It's a pushback from that um, how to say, communication, and it's not working in that way.
Sorry, I think I lost you sometimes. So, what make you were working in the corporate sector? What make you make that from the corporate sector? You come to the NGO nonprofit, and you work now in education and more empowering global ambassador around the world.
Uh, it's sometimes you need to my legacy. It's to give back, and I think that it's important. When you give back to community, and why I came to manage, and I decided to manage a nonprofit organization, to use my skills and knowledge, and bring that, and also to share on my trainings and courses, my knowledge, my successful version of mine, to the new generations, because if you share with the community, that it's beautiful, because
It was
you
difficult
touch
for me to have
lives.
to end up
And
this.
why I create this book, to be a legacy of my work and my things which I did in the future, in the past, and people, they can take it and do in the future. I think it's very important, to when you we're not focused only on the money, which people are focused on the money. Me, I'm different. I'm focused on legacy, and I'm focused, to create value. To create value for others, because that will go generation to generations. The money, you have it and it's gone. Okay, but when you create that legacy, you create that beautiful things for people to go and say, okay, I learned this, and I'm going over and over and over, and I go to the level of success. And I hope you hear me, and I think it's we have some challenges with the connection, but what I want to say is very important for us, to to have that legacy. Or you want to. The legacy means, you what it's when you wake up in the morning and you want to do. For me, is to help unprivileged kids to go to school, and also, to share my knowledge and skills in the business, because I'm a successful person, and I want that to get it, to for other people to get. Right now they are confused with AI. Or say how you can incorporate AI in the classic these things. Oh, Mary, we're okay. Can
Yeah, it's okay. I think we just has like difficulties with the technical issues. Now we are almost concluding. So last question, if the person, like for example, I take the course, the training that we do for business consultancy, and I don't know how that knowledge can benefit me, or if I have the knowledge and then I feel stuck, where can I find guidance after that?
I think the point we have three milestone. First, you start from zero. You go and become a business consulting certified. I think that will give you the opportunity to understand the where you need to be and where you need to become. The second, if you need more help, I'm doing 6 to 1 year. Um, we call um, not accelerator or accelerator or masterminds, which will be for people to understand, like if they want to ask me more questions direct, they have more access to me, and would be a private 101, which rare I'm doing that. When you say, okay man, well, I want to work with you, only with you, and you will be my guide, that it's where you get more of me, and in that communication. And again, um, it's up to you what you want to create when you become a consulting. But those what I said, the training, and after that working with me 6 months or 1 year, and after that, if you want to work more, because here's the coming, you say first I want to make the 5 figures. After that, you make 5 figures, you say you want 6 figures, you make 6 figures, and you want to create 7 figures, because nothing is the same recipe. It's for 5 to 6 to 6 to 7 to 7 to 8. There's something which require more detailed evaluation, working with you, and have the value to bring there, to have that to boost, because you can do 5 figures and you'll be stuck in 5 figures, or it was 6 figures, say, okay, I'm doing 100,000 or 150, and it's okay with me. Okay, I cannot say why you don't do 1 million. No, because I want to do 100. It's okay with me. I balance my life. I take only 2 clients, and the rest I don't care. Okay, but people that say, no, I want to do 7 figures. I don't want to burn out, and I want to have a balanced life. I have a family, and also I want to achieve that. Can be possible. Yes, can be possible. And other people say, okay, I want to get 8 figures, and I feel I cannot do by myself. I need a team. It's possible, to help me how to create a team, and how to create that value, and the rest to get the 8 figures. And that can be possible as well. And yes, I think
Yeah.
I'm very what other questions do you have, Mary?
Any upcoming programs or projects in the
Yes,
university?
we have for USAID we have the oncoming, it's the summit. It's in April in Istanbul. You guys, you are welcome. It's very good price, and very good. We do the gala here, which in Washington DC, it is very expensive in this city. In this is like doing something, this kind of events. But we are doing this kind of summit, and for dedicated for women and girls. Um, and that it's beautiful, and we will do partnership with the mayor of Akçalar and Istanbul, because people doesn't know what's Akçalar, but they know Istanbul. Istanbul is in Turkey. The other things we have, we have the nonprofit accelerator with Dr. Isabel. The coming event it's International Business and Diplomatic Protocol on February 5th and 7th. If you want to become a protocol officer, like working for White House or for embassies, to learn from A to Z, you have the opportunity to come in person 3 days here in Washington, D.C. On February 5th and 7th. Just be aware, we can accommodate only maximum 40 seats, and those are going fast. Other things, Mary, I will support you, to give you more details on the events.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
okay, thank you so much for
I
having
yeah.
me. And
Finally, yeah. Before I let you go, I just want you to tell me about if you can describe the impact of the U.S. Institute of on Human Rights in 3 words. What would you say?
three words will be like is like create a sustainable peace. Um, I want to say, we create something beautiful here at the U.S. Institute of Diplomacy and Human Rights. Our rate, after people are taking our courses, more than 50, it's a percent between 55 and 60%, which is a big percent, by the way. They get better jobs, better opportunities, especially in Africa. We have people which they are advisors to the presidents, and they work in that administration, which is beautiful, because before was like he was an activist, right now become an advocate, and they are willing to work with any administration. And the goal is to implement the 30 human rights per universal declaration, for that administration to understand they have an expert on human rights, and that is beautiful. Also here in the United States, who's working for the government and are taking our courses, they are very they see a momentum to take increase uh, and on pay, and on also on the responsibility, and that is beautiful. It's based on the we say that based on the facts, it's not based on the data what we have, but we are very humble and very happy, to operate in 136. We have regional directors, which they are volunteers, and they're open to the regional director's job is like my job in operations, to have in that country, and to create trainings, to connect with the people, to understand the needs, and also to help them to understand education is the 30 human rights is very important, and also international religious freedom, which we work here in United States. We are part of the Religious Freedom, Round Table. Also, from the last 5 years, we are very happy and working on this. People to not be persecuted religious, and other things which I want, which is a new program for businesses, for USADHR. It's SDG. SDG is also, environmental sustainability and governance. We evaluate and we help companies to get bigger and rank on the index. That will help any any companies which is in Wall Street or want to become visible, they need to work on those policies. And what U.S. Histo Diplomacy will do will evaluate that company and work on the policy. And that is a new program which we are launching for businesses from U.S. Histo Diplomacy and Human Rights.
Wonderful. Where can we find the book? And do you have any specific programs for people who are in Africa and how they can get access and resources to these kind of opportunities?
Yes, also, we prepare, yes, with Africa, we will work with the companies and also administrations there, to this. We have on usidhr.org, we have all the informations, all the programs, all the certifications, also for the businesses. Everything is in our website, usidhr.org. And happy, if you have we have a beautiful team here in DC and around the world, which if you have additional questions, you can send an email to info@usidhr.org.
Cool. And the resources, the books and the materials, where
The
they
books,
available?
the books we can find in Amazon, and also, when you get the course, if you go to the businessconsultants.org, and after you buy the training, also you have the book. You can purchase the book directly, and we can ship from our headquarters here. And not only my book, and also the Dr. Isabel Rodoyo books, one in human rights and one in business and diplomatic protocol.
Okay, wonderful. We finished. We have a long conversation, and it was really valuable. I didn't ask you, what did you study? What was your background of education? And you still, I know that you
Yeah,
still.
it's a great question. I'm by education. I have a master degree also. I'm on the technical. I have a bachelor degree in engineering, on automotive and machine technology, and I have a master degree in efficiency. And after that, I was very pleased, and my skills is very good, interacting with people. I like to speak, I like to talk, and why, those kind of podcasts, is going longer. The point is, I was very successful in sales, international sales. After that, also, I was very good on to be how you call chief engineer, or to create, I was in charge 5 years for all engines for Ford between 2000 2005. Also create the first locomotive, and to be the chief engineer for first locomotive in Europe, with for the European Union, called Euro 4000. Using technology from the United States and also from Europe. Not that, I was in those kind of industry. I was in telecommunication. I was in automotive. I was in locomotive. I was also in IT. But doesn't matter if you have a product and service. The idea is, for me, I was always interested, how to operate, how to create a business from A to Z. And that gave me, you need to be curious. If you're not curious, you cannot develop those skills. It's just, you need to be curious, you need to be humble, you need to not give up when you don't create those results, and you need to be persistent. That is the point. I think it's not important how many success you have. I think it's important how many times you failed and you wake up and say, okay, I need to get it done. It was not easy also with any business to get to this value, to this up value and size, like USID HR, but I was committed, to put that vision of Dr. Isabel Rodoy in reality, and that gave me the opportunity, to push, and never give up, to make sure we satisfies. We have three things, take responsibility, have integrity, and keep your word. And that I recommend, if you start to be a self-employed, or to be a consultant, to be a business consultant, or you want to be an expert in some field, you don't need to give up. If you give up, it's done. Okay. You need to be curious. You need to be open. You need to be to learn. You don't need to be stubborn. No. You need to be adapt. Because of the new technology, you need to adapt. And also, I will create business consulting and how to implement the AI on your consultancy business. I'm working on three apps. One for human resources, one in translations, and one in to give you all the things which require, for the business consultings to have all the steps. Will be done and by the end of January. But stay tuned, because you can find more. But the point I want to make again and repeat is, be curious, be open, and be humble, and never give up. I think this is the four things which require for you to be successful. And when you get a success, just take a moment and celebrate that, because you need to be acknowledged, and you need to be have that opportunity. Sometimes I'm not doing. I say, okay, it's another success. Let's go. But I learn is better. Is good for take that energy and move forward. To the next level, to get better, to get open, to get creative. And I think which is important, you need to be creative. To be a consulting is not A to Z straightforward. Is sometimes you need to be creative to understand, based on the client, what they said, and the stories, what needs to be done in the front to get to the next level. I think that is good, because when you stay curious and you stay humble, and also, start to learn from others. It's all the time I ask, what is the lesson learned? What is your lesson learned folder? I was in companies and I asked, where's the lesson learned? They ask me, say, why? Because I don't want to make the same mistakes. When they hired me, I said, where's your lesson learned? Why? Because I try to understand, if you have that client, somebody before me did a lot of mistakes, okay? Not because they felt they is not anymore in that position, but they have some history with that. I want to understand from that history with that client what they learned, because you need to learn, and sometimes, in the corporate doesn't exist, lesson learned. And what is very, very good, to learn that, to create those lesson learned for your client and for yourself, to say, okay, next time we don't need to do that because it's a mistake, or we cannot do that because we can fail, or we cannot do that because it's not going the right directions. And you need to be clear. You don't need to hide to yourself to say, no, we're very good. It's a client fault. Don't do that. Sometimes it's the client, sometimes it's you, but you need to take the responsibility and make it to say, okay, if we try that, it's not working. We need to, maybe it's not working for this client, but also we need to be careful. If next time we try that, we see the experience, and let's see how we can try a different way in order to get our results. That, I think, that is very important.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. Thank you, Mary. God bless you, and good luck with your podcast.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Have a
Wish you
wonderful
the
day. We'll reach out for more information, and if we have more suggestions, like question.
Yes, you know, you can write to Wancha Strategy Group dot com. That is my or manuelwancha.com. It's my main website. Or usidhr.org. It doesn't matter. You know, I'm here. I'm alive. Also, I'm on social media and looking forward. You know. For you to see you on our courses and on our certificate and also you know on our projects, and looking forward you know to see you and to connect with you in Istanbul. We have the opportunity in April, looking for that because that minimum open spots on that. And hey, we are here. We are in Washington DC, and looking forward, you know, to connect with you when you are available. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Good day. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye, man. Okay, thank you so much for our huge audience for watching the Four Direction, especially young people. I was joined by Emmanuel Onucha. He's the president of U.S. Institute for Diplomacy and Human Rights, where we discuss about his recent publication and organization activity. And also, we would like to send us your suggestions, your view. What do you think about some of the challenges that face you in your business? Either you are an individual or you have a business firm, you have a nonprofit. Send us your answers, and we will be able to find more way of addressing and helping you find solution for this issue. Again, thank you for watching the Four Direction. My name is Mary Apollo. I'm your host. Bye. Have a great day.